Whether if it's your home, car, or office, and something needs a quick refresh, our room fragrances provide that beautiful burst of fragrance with just one quick mist. Shop now at www.chemistryroomfragrances.com and be sure to follow us on Instagram at Chemistry Room Fragrances. Chemistry Room Fragrances. Smells so good.
Hey y'all catch my little beat. You know, DJ Kamiki Mink in the building.
Yes. I was like, oh, okay.
Trying to keep it fresh, you know?
Okay.
So anyway, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Camille Essick. This is the host of the Speaker Podcast. This is the podcast where innovators and creators connect. Be sure to hit that notification bell and go right now to my website at gbmofficial.com. The sweatshirts and hoodies are here. Good Black men still exist. We are rocking it out today. Yes, I love it. So use that coupon code right now and use that when you check out at GBM15. Get the merch right there. And I did open up my little shop on Amazon for all my bougie girls. So things you see on my TikTok, if you like certain shoes or things that I purchased, you can go to my Amazon store and get that information. Purchase those items. And if you have mock-ups and other digital products that you're interested in, you can also check out my Etsy digital store, and that is right there. So we're going to kick things off. My brother is back, Sealz The Man. You may know him. If you haven't, I don't know where you've been. He's been running it up on YouTube. 100,000 views, subscribers. Like, first of all, shout out to that. Like, that is major. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It happened quick too. Like, it's crazy, but
yeah, like a year.
Yeah, a year and a half or so. Like,
we cannot downplay that. Like, that is so awesome. So how does it feel?
It still feels surreal almost, like I never did it for the numbers, or I never did it for the fame or none of that. Like, I just want to talk, and I've always wanted to talk and allow people to hear me, and you know, by the grace of God, people actually want to hear me. Almost 100,000 people want to hear me. So it's like, it's still surreal. But
have you gotten your plaque yet?
So once you hit 100K, it takes like 6 weeks for YouTube to send you your plaque. I guess I got to verify you and making it and all that. So it'll be here by next year. But yeah.
That is great. Like, that is so cool.
I'm a humble guy, so I don't even know how to talk about myself, but
well, I am a celebratory person. I celebrate all things. I'm happy for you. Like, that's me. Like, that's dope. Like, I think that's so cool. You like, yeah, whatever. But I'm like, no, like, seriously, you're gonna get a plaque, everything. Yeah. You gotta do like a video on social media to thank your followers and subscribers, like, and then come back here so you can show it off and we can talk about it. Like, that's great.
You know, that's locked in. Definitely.
Yay. Yeah. I absolutely love it. So for those that are not familiar with you and who you are and what you do, like, let the viewers and listeners know a little more about who is Sealz.
All right. So my name is Denzel Sealz. I'm a son of a soldier. My mom's a soldier, just like you see. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a jack of all trades. I'm a graphic designer. Went to school for that. I'm currently a day trader. My 9 to 5, I work for a computer company, And, you know, I do social media, my biggest feat being on YouTube. Um, I do all things positive, man. I just want to stay busy. I try to stay busy, and I that's it, man. I just do it all, you know. But the thing I always want to like lead with is positivity and love. You know, if I'm in a room where it's not with love or any kind of positivity or productivity, I'm not in there. I'm out of there. So if it involves those three things, I'm in there. So that's why I'm here.
Wait, so you're day trading now?
Oh yeah, I've been day trading since the summer. It's been a journey.
Man, we gotta talk.
Yeah, Black Wealth, man. Black Wealth, that's where it's at. Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
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 I love it. So I do want to kick things off. Like we've been having this ongoing conversation with you, just talking about love and relationships from the perspective of a good man. And so, for those that don't know, Sealz has been on the Speaker podcast a few times. He's been on Heart and Soul, and then we've done some one-on-one conversations. And so, because we've had so many conversations, I created a playlist for Sealz The Man on my YouTube channel. So if you go to playlist, you'll see him, you'll see Antoine and a couple other people, but Denzel now has his own lane on the Speaker podcast. So go and check that out. Great conversation. So if you missed other conversations, you can catch up on all things Sealz there on my page. And be sure to follow him on YouTube as well.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
I didn't even know you did that. You got to tag me in that.
Yeah, I started tagging you just because, like, man, you've given me a lot of homework. If those don't know, Sealz is also my YouTube mentor. And so he gave me this long list of things to do. And it's very tedious and time consuming. You have to kind of really sit down and take time to do those things. So now I'm going back, and now that YouTube has the tag feature, going back and adding your handle to those interviews. But yeah, you do have your own playlist on my show now.
Awesome. Check it out.
No problem. So we're going to hop right into it. I know women, we're always saying things that we need, you know, in a relationship. But Sealz, I'm going to ask you, what are some things that women need to understand about men? Like, even if it's hard to swallow, what are some things women need to understand about men?
One thing I will say about most men, men who stand for something, is that they want a partner, right? They don't want a woman who they feel like they have to take care of, or they feel like they have to not take care of, but like there's no two-way street. There's just a one-way street. Like he's doing everything and she's supposed to just, oh, okay. A real man wants a partner. He wants a partner in crime. He wants a partner in time. He wants a partner in life, right? So he wants to live life with a complementary partner. So when a man finds that in a woman, it's like the greatest feeling ever, because it's like you found your yin to your yang. You found the one. You know what I'm saying? So I would tell you by a lot of accounts, by a lot of my friends, and situations and experiences I've been in, if the woman does not compliment me and vice versa, it never works. If her mentality does not compliment mine, if her spirit does not compliment mine, if her ambitions does not, her hunger, her love does not compliment mine, it's not going to work. And if it feels like it's a one-way street, if it feels like all the burden and all the weight is on one side, and it could be on her side too, it's not going to work. It has to be balanced. It got to be yin yang philosophy. So that's one big part of what a lot of men look for in women. Good.
So my thing is, Sealz, is like, you're saying that you want, not you too, but men in general, good men in general, that, as you said, are about something. They want someone that kind of matches their fly, their hustle. But isn't there like a fine line to where she can be those things, but not be emasculating and still walk in her own femininity? Because it seems to me, some of the women that I know, they are those things. And I was having this conversation with a friend of mine like 3 weeks ago, and she was sharing with me one of her situations, and she was saying like what she was going to tell her man, and I started to cringe, and I stopped her. I said, I understand what you're saying. I said, but you're coming off too strong. And she was like, girl, what do you mean? I was like, sis, like, you're aggressive. Like,
Yeah.
throttle that back. And she was like, well, I'm just saying because I want this. And I said, I get it. I said, but there's a way to do it. So then I proceeded to tell her how she could have this conversation and not emasculate him.
Mm-hmm.
And so she listened and she was like, I never thought of it like that. I said, you know, because the thing was, they had been spending a lot of time together and she was behind on some of her work. And she was trying to tell him, like, I just need a couple of days to kind of catch up on some personal things I've been neglecting at home. And then we could go back to hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
So I coached her through how to do that without coming off to where it would have probably shut him down. Like,
yeah,
like, well, does she want to be around? You know, and I think sometimes as women, our attention may be good, but it comes off harsh, or you're not thinking about his feelings and how he's interpreting what you're saying. Because all he's gonna hear is, you taking up my time. I got, you know, it's when we say it versus when it comes out, it's not the same. So it's like you have to pause it and play it back in your head and then kind of soften it. And I told her there's a way you can say it, but I said, sis, put some honey on it.
Yeah, right. And that's why gender roles are so important. A lot of people don't follow gender roles, but a lot of relationships should, because you have to know your role in your relationship. When you don't, you overstep boundaries. You overstep into the realm of your partner, right? No woman wants a man who is going to act like a woman. No man wants a woman that's going to act like a man. Like, we have to have our gender roles in our relationships, and we have to have roles in our relationships, period. But, you know, a lot of reasons why I see a lot of women, especially our colored women, act so aggressively with their male partners because of the experiences they've been through with other men. As you know, colored people have the hardest experience in America. It's not even close. And because of that, we've had to become so tough. We've had to, you know, tough love is the right love. And if you're not working hard, then you're not going to get nothing. And you man up. You know, all these tough things are only told to us. Colored people are the main target to these kind of sayings and ideologies. So it's like, when you experience those things, you tend to transfer that same mentality into your relationship. And I see a lot of women transfer those same traumas and same experiences that they've been through with being with other colored people and colored men into their relationships and apply it to every man they come into. So when they do find a man who does compliment their fly, compliment them, period, sometimes you got to realize, like, oh, I feel him. Like, we feel connected. It's not a competition no longer. I'm not trying to tough you out. I'm not trying to show you how much value I got in this relationship by showing you aggressively and pushing in there. We're going to work on this together. So when you find that bond between the two, and it's effortless, it's smooth, it's soft, it's lovey. You know what I mean? It's a different type of vibe. So I feel like gender roles are super important, and they must be established, because if they're not, y'all just going to be doing all types of unassigned things with each other. And then you're always wondering why you're arguing or fighting, because you haven't established yourselves in your relationship.
Yeah, I think we need to learn how to exercise grace. And because I'm in the podcast lane, I go through social media, particularly like TikTok or Twitter, and just read the comments and the things we say to each other. Crazy. It's so hard.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen in other demographics, but within our community, it's so rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
And it's so abrasive. And I'm like, and it's so unhinged and so unapologetic the way I see, not all, but some of us, how we communicate with each other. And I'm just like,
yeah, it's crazy. And it's ingrained in our head, so we don't even see how wrong it is. Like, what's up, N-word, my N-word, or what's up, my B? Like,
I don't like that. And then my thing is, it's like, when you hear, not gonna say his name, he's not living anymore, but during his tenure on social media, in the narrative he was putting out there, that it widened the gap even more within our community as far as the genders and dating and stuff. It was hard, and it still ripples down. He's not here anymore, but just hearing how he like opened Pandora's box, and there's so many people co-signing on that message, and I'm like, no, this is not good. This is damaging.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a lot to unpack as far as how we communicate. So for you, like Sealz, you said like women, we should be like a vault. Can you kind of go deeper into that?
Oh, so a safe space, right?
Yeah.
Safe place. Yeah. When a man finds a safe place in a woman, it's a blessing. If I love you, right, and if I trust you with my life, and if I trust you with my secrets, the main theme in that whole sentence I just said is trust. And a lot of men go through a lot of mistrust. It's not spoken about because we fail with our communication, but a lot of men treat other people horribly because they've had their trust broken. And once again, that transfers to a lot of men's relationships, man. And now you have this underlying aggression with your woman. You have these lies you tell. You have this sneakiness with your woman because you feel like you can't trust your woman. You feel like you can't trust no one because your trust been broken so much. But so when a man finds a trust, a vault in a woman, it is a haven. It's a safe place. Like you are my best friend. I can tell you anything. This love is boundless. Like I don't just love you, but I see you as literally my best friend. You are my companion, and I could talk to you about anything. When a man finds that in a woman, there's nothing like it. Because there's a lot of women who, and I would be straight up with you, man. A lot of women I've experienced, and even friends that experience, women can be very judgy. They can be like, ugh, like you do that? Like, what's wrong with you? And they might not notice that, their reaction to what he's telling you, but in his head, he's like, oh man, like I'm wrong, or I'm a little crazy, or oh, I shouldn't tell you that. Never mind. And now he's shying away from you because of your reaction. Even though you might think it's minuscule, you might think it's small, but in his head, he's like, wow, I don't feel comfortable around you. And he might laugh it off and joke it off, but when you get that judgmental backlash, or even a joking way, it can push a man 3,000 miles away from you. And you don't even know it.
Because women get it from guys every day.
Yeah.
We're judged every day. Looks, hair, nails, clothes, feet. So it's so funny. It's like y'all can dish it, but you can't take it.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's such a hypocrisy to me.
Yes. A lot of people
that are like, dude, I would never talk to you. But they have all these demands on my woman can never da 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 da. And there's a lot of women saying, bro, you're not even a problem. But there are so many guys that are so hard and judgmental towards women.
Yeah.
Openly. But for us to even go, ew, then you just shut down.
Right.
Can you kind of make sense of, like, I don't understand that.
So I always say a loudmouth always has secrets and insecurities. If you have to speak about who you are, if you have to show what you have, if you have to show value in the things you possess, then you have certain things inside of you that you are underlying, that you have not communicated well enough with someone who can help you with those things. Insecurities, because I can tell you, like me, I can care less about social media. I can care less about showing people what I got. I can have the world and not care, because why should I care? Like, I know my value is in me, right? I can be broke, naked, no clothes, and I know how much value I have. I know I am rich. But people who have to show it, they have to, these dudes that have to bling it out and express it to these girls and their their items and all that. That is very loud, but very loud on different levels. You're showing that you have insecurities. You're showing that you have a lot of weaknesses. And those be the same types of people who talk junk about other people, especially women. Because it's like the bully mentality, right? You only bully people that you feel like you can't beat until you meet someone who can beat you. And now you're a whole nother person. Now your weakness is exposed. Now you become who you truly are, right? So loud people that's a big red flag. Those who stay quiet, are the ones you need to look out for. Those are the ones who have the value, because they know how much their value is worth. And why would you expose your value to, possible enemies and people who don't care? Like, there's levels to it, right? And and it kind of goes with that with women too. Like the most intelligent women that I've ever talked to or have ever experienced or ever even have a conversation with are the ones who are to themselves and only speak when they have to, and then when they do speak, it's like, whoa.
Dropping gems.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, whoa, I didn't know you had that in you.
Yep.
You didn't show yourself.
Yep.
Oh, willingly. You are not inexpensive. You are not cheap, right? You are cheap if you show everybody everything you got.
Yeah.
But man, when you drop some stuff, when you drop some knowledge or some bars, or you drop your creativity on somebody and they didn't even know, like, that increases your value so much.
Yeah.
Because it's unexpected, So loudmouths, red flags.
Yeah.
That's
so true that you said that, because I'm like introvert, outrovert, meaning I'm naturally introverted, but situations force me where I do have to open up, even though I don't want to, but the situation and environment causes me to do so. But even in those settings, I find myself sitting in a corner unless I just really know other people. But I find myself, like, I'll be like, who is that? The person in the corner that's being quiet, because I'm wondering, like, what are they doing? Who are they? And the guys that are usually like coming in all, hey, what's up, man? And I'm just like, it's so draining. Yeah. But usually the one that's sitting in the corner being quiet, I'm like, I wonder what he does. Or I wonder, just you start to wonder. It's like the mystery of the person, because like you said, the person that comes with all the vibrato, that's actually, for a lot of women, mature women, it's actually a turn off. So I totally agree with that.
And I'm not saying you're wrong if you're a loud person. I'm not saying
some people are extroverts, but
right.
For yourself, and there is, like you said, a balance. But just coming in, you're talking to me and you're doing this because you're trying to show your watch off, like things like that, or you're looking your ears because you want me to see your earrings. Like, it's like, bro, come on. Are you doing all this? Just all the extra motions. It's just, for me, it's a bit much.
And that's a sign of maturity. I'm gonna be 100,000% with you. I used to buy like fake chains when I was growing up. I used to buy these little $20 chains off of Amazon.
The kiosk king.
What? Man.
Yo,
them things will last like 10 showers.
It would start itching.
It started turning green. But yo, if I can impress you with the things I got on, I thought that was value. I thought that's what being a man was about. Until you realize, yo, if no woman accepts you because of the things you have, then you don't need that woman.
Yeah, I told a guy, this was years ago, and he was doing a lot, spending and the dinners. And so we were at dinner one day, and I just looked at him. I said, I'm not for sale. And he just looked at me. You could see, like, his face just changed. And I was like, I'm not for sale. Because I threw a party. This was like 2016 or so. I threw a white party. And so he helped me get the space or whatever, because he knew he was friends with the GM, got the space. And I thought he was doing it to be nice, but he was doing it because he was trying to set that up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is why you did this for me? And I had to check him on that. I was like, I appreciate you doing this for me to provide this venue for my my party, my event. But when I called him out on it, then he got flustered and wanted to get an attitude. And it was like, well, this is not quid pro quo. And if that's why you did it, then I could have just kicked out the $1,000 some other way. But it was just like, it wasn't even because you were being my friend or being nice. You were doing this because you were looking for some kickback, and that didn't happen. And so that really, really put a sour taste, a damper on how I looked at him, because I was like, you're willing to do anything because there's something else you want, but you don't care about me. You don't care about my feelings. You don't care about getting to know me. You just say, oh, she cute, so let me try this for this. And I was like, we're not doing that.
Yeah. Yep.
That's wild.
It gets crazy out here, man.
I know. So just okay, so we're talking about communication. You're saying, Sealz, like men need trust. So in that space of conversation with the communication in the relationship, navigating the road of communication as a man, like it's so hard for men to open up because you're saying the trust thing. But how is it that a woman can build that space for you? Because it's like sometimes we're catching the backlash for something somebody else did, and it's like I'm not her, but it's like it feels like you're playing an emotional obstacle course just trying to get to your heart, and it gets exhausting.
So you never want to be in that position. Like, I don't even want to talk about working with someone like that. I've been in that position where I felt like I was getting a backlash of her past exes. She was treating me like, or almost like predicting that I was going to do the same things they did to her, and it's unfair. It's unfair because now you're in arguments and you're in bad moods and tensions with her, and you're like, yo, I didn't even do nothing. Like, what's going on with you? But for men, so I won't even talk about that. You need to be with someone who you can be totally honest with. One thing I do is that I show myself, my true self, on the first date. Like, I don't do that. Hello, my name is Sealz. How are you? You know what I mean? The code switching, like the put on the mask. No, I don't do that because I want to know straight up. I don't have time to waste. We both grown now. We like when you cross that plus 30, plus 40, bro, you don't have time for this, man.
So you're intentional.
I'm very intentional because I know tomorrow's not promised. Like, I know I don't have time to waste. And the older you get, the more your plate is full. Like, we were younger, we could do all that stuff because he ain't had nothing to do. We had a job and out in school. That was it. We have lives now. You know, every day you see somebody die on the news or social media, and it's like, yo, I don't have time. You know, so it's like, I'm going to show you who I am on the first encounter. If you can take that, cool. If not, cool. Either way, it's cool. But I'm going to show you who I am immediately, right? Let's knock that out the butt. Yo, imagine there are people who are in situationships. There are people who are in talking stage that have been talking for months and don't even know the person. They've been talking to this person with a mask on for months. And then when they do figure out who this person is, a year passed by, half a year passed by, and now you hate this person. It's like, bro, that's crazy to me.
I can't do it.
I need to figure out who you are, and I need you to figure out who I am right now.
Yeah.
That's not the butt.
I totally agree. I want to say, like, back in, it was like July, I want to say. And so a friend of mine from college, one of my closest friends, she was like, oh, Cam, like, I know this guy. I think you guys will be a good fit. Like, let me connect you to. He was like, she was like, I showed him your picture, and immediately he was like, oh yeah, I want to talk to her. So we exchanged phone numbers. Sealz 3 phone conversations. 3 phone conversations. After that third conversation, I sent him a text, and it wasn't derogatory. I was just like, hey, it was great talking to you, but right now, I'm in a different place in my life, and I wish you the best in all your endeavors. Pretty much, God bless. And then I blocked and deleted him because I think women get so caught up in some things. You don't listen. The guy will tell you who he is if you just listen. And so when he would talk, I was not only listening to what he was saying, but I was also listening to what he wasn't saying.
Right.
And so in 3 phone conversations, and each conversation was like 2 hours, 3 hours. So it wasn't like 20 minutes here. We were on the phone talking.
Right.
And in those conversations, I was able to just listen to him talk and gather enough information to say no, thank you.
Yep.
I didn't have to like go below the belt and do all this grabbing air. None of that. Just very politely was just like, hey, I'm in a different space right now, and you're not a bad person. You're just not for me.
Yeah, that's it.
Even though I feel like there were things he was putting out there was not aligned with who my core is, or aligning with my spiritual values and other things and how he lived his life. So instead of going there, I just politely did that just because I just felt like it was the easiest way. But the key was listening.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's like, yo, it's better to get it done now than to get deeper with this person. And now this person knows who your mom is. He knows where you live. You know his people. They know who you are. Now it's complicated. And if they got kids, the kids are starting to like you. You got kids, the kids are starting to like him. Like, now it's getting a little too deep. Now other things are attached to you guys, not just you two no more. You don't want it to get too complex. If the person's not for you, most 9.5 times out of 10, you know it. Like, I always tell people to follow their God-given discernment.
Yeah.
Your body's going to tell you when something's wrong. Your mind and your conscience is going to tell you when something's off. But people always want to fight it because they always want to make it work. They want to force it. Don't do that. Go with your flow. Don't go with the flow. Go with your flow. You know what your flow is, and you know what boats can ride on that flow. You know certain things that ain't supposed to be on your flow. So stop forcing that flow, right? So most of the times we know the person ain't for us, and we always try to make it work out of desperation, out of loneliness, out of all types of negative things, right? But at the end of the day, the most positive thing you can do is subtract. That's it. The most positive thing, the greatest way you can add to your life is by subtracting things from your life. And that's how I live. And I always tell people that.
Yeah, that's good. I think in this generation, people don't talk enough. They want to just skip all this and then jump right to that and then find out, well, I didn't know he was crazy, or I didn't know she was crazy, or did you take the time to find out? Did you vet this person?
No.
You know, and we've all been guilty of it.
Yeah.
But you live and you learn. I don't call it losses. I call them lessons.
Yep.
And you learn and going, oh, I should have vetted this person a little longer, gotten a little more information. You know, what's that saying? Dating is for data. You're gathering information, not because you're trying to do something crazy, but you're trying to get information to make an informed decision.
Yeah.
So
that's going to change your life.
Yeah.
Like each relationship, no matter how short or fast or impactful, it's going to change your life in some way.
Yeah. And then I need to see you in different situations. Like, how do you respond if someone's rude to you, or if you're angry, if you're mad, or you go through a life change or the loss of a loved one? I need to see you in all those different modes, because it's like, when you're angry, do you punch walls?
Yeah. I want to see you
being serious. Like,
right.
Some people can be so even keel, and then one situation happens and they just go way off the rails, and then you're like, whoa, I never saw that coming. Well, did you allow time for that to come out?
Right. I want to see you around other women. You want to see him around other men. Are you a flirt, or are you very jealous? Are you a very jealous type person? Like, those things get exposed real quick if you do your due diligence. That's all part of, like, what you were saying, collecting data.
Yeah.
Doing your due diligence to find out if this person is for you. Because if you bring them around your friends and they start acting jealous, and say friends, you got a lot of good-looking male friends or whatever, and you bring him around, he's acting all weird and getting attitudes out of nowhere, you're like, bro, what? You all right?
Hey, who you are, my girl?
Yeah.
It's the FedEx.
Right. You go home and he like, oh, who you talking to, your little friends? Like, bro, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I've been
cousin.
Yo,
like, we got the same grandma. Like, it's my cousin.
Crazy. Crazy. It happens every day too.
Oh my God. Unreal. I mean, you know, so okay. In that, people disagree, right? So their disagreements will come in relationships. So isn't there not a way that you can have those hard conversations and fight fair without going below the belt? At least I believe you can. Because my thing is, if we're having a disagreement and then you're pulling out something I told you in confidence, to me, that's like you're weaponizing something I trusted you with. And so now I feel a way about that.
Right. And I think the key thing is to remember that this is a conversation, not an argument. This is a conversation, not a debate. This is a conversation, not a who's gonna win. This is not a competition. A conversation. It doesn't get more simpler than that. Once you realize I want to have a conversation with you about this issue, that changes the whole dynamic of what's going to be said between you two now. But once you bring the attitude of, yo, I'm going to show you why you're wrong and why I'm right, you already started off the wrong foot, because now it's not going to end, right? If I want to show you that, not even that, if I'm not honest with you, if I'm not completely 100% like, if I'm not honest with you about how I feel, and as men, we struggle with this so much because we have egos, then it will never get solved. And there's reasons why for that, right? Because she will never know how you truly feel if she does a certain thing. If you acting all cool, if you acting all, big bag and Barack, as my grandma say, then
Grandma said, what now?
Big bag and Barack. Yeah. It's like, yo, if you act like that, she's never going to know how you feel. And in the same coin, never going to know who you are. Because knowing who you are is knowing what you don't like and what you do like, right? So if I can't be 100% honest with you, and that goes back to the vault thing, right? The finding a vault in a woman, find a woman who can hide your secrets, can hold your secrets, a woman you can conversate about with anything. Once you're able to do that, you have an unfiltered conversation. All bets are off. Both of y'all are naked. There's no embellishments. There's nothing in the way. Y'all two are having a conversation and y'all being honest with each other. At the same time, that builds your love with each other too. Because you're like, wow, this woman's really being honest with me. And wow, you're saying, wow, he's really being honest with me. He's showing me a side of him that I know is hard for him to tell me. And he's doing that because he trusts me.
That's a fine line though, because then it's like, you know where my bodies are. I know where your bodies are.
Hey,
but you trust. I mean, but you have to be healed enough to be that vulnerable,
right? And
then be in a space where you feel trusted enough to trust this person with what I just shared with you, and that you're not going to weaponize it against me. Like, because the biggest thing for women, we like being reassured and feeling emotionally protected.
Definitely.
Like that's so major for us.
Definitely.
And I think a lot of men don't understand. And I'm not talking about the women out here gold digging and trying to get red bottoms. We're talking about the women that, for us, it's not about the things. It's about the heart.
But then it goes back.
Yeah.
It goes back to like, all right, that's true. But what are your intentions with this person? What are your intentions with this partner? Like me, like I said, I'm intentional. So if I'm with you, I want to be with you forever. Like I want this to build into a marriage. I want this to build into a real love. If I can't share my secrets with you, then what are we doing? And now it's like, I'm going 50% with you. That's dangerous because that other 50% can end you, right? It can end you too. If I'm not going 100% with you, I'm not with you. And it's cool if you're not going to be 100%. It just won't work. Because, and that's a lot of, and you just describe a lot of relationships, current relationships today. Both of them are scared to tell them, to show their true selves. And now they're in relationships for years and years and years because they're not being 100% honest with each other.
They're still wearing the mask. You've been in a relationship with somebody for 5 years and you're still wearing the mask.
Crazy. Like, and they might take a piece of the mask off here and there, right? By the time they take off their whole mask, it's been 10 years already. Like, and now you're heartbroken because he don't want you no more. She don't want you no more. Like, yo, let's be real with each other. That's why I want to tell the world. Let's be real with each other. Let's not judge each other. If we want to be together forever, and you want to, and we're supposed to make this work, we're supposed to be partners. How can I hold your hand if you're hiding your other hand? Like, we need to be face to face with each other, completely honest. Because what are we doing if we're not? So if I can't tell you where the body's at and the skeletons, then maybe, and there is a case where you're working towards that trust, right? You're getting to know that person, right? So you're not going to just do that on the first couple dates, yo, I'm crazy, like,
people, you do see it on the first date or even talking on the phone. You're like,
right.
Oh, he's touched.
Yeah. But it's like, yo, if y'all been together long enough and y'all made commitments to each other, you've made a commitment. It's a commitment, not a commit. It's a commitment. You have to follow through, because if you're not, you're just dating. You're just talking.
How long should people talk?
Or
is it a conversation that's going on throughout the relationship? Because I feel like there should always be discovery. Like, you're going to learn something about somebody every day or every week, or the more you're with someone, you're going to learn more about them as they get older, the longer you're in the relationship.
Right.
So when does what I call the interview process stop? And then it goes from us getting to know you, like, hey, I do want to start a relationship with this person. Like, is there a time on that? Or when, for a guy, when does that happen?
See, so I don't think there's a time limit, but I do think there is a moment. Mm-hmm. Now, let me explain myself. I feel like
maybe that's a better question. The moment.
Yeah, the moment is when you're completely honest with the person and they react to you. They compliment what you say. They don't. It's a positive, like, what do you call it? Reciprocation. Like, it's a reciprocation that the person can rock with, right? When you have that first moment with that person, and he or she, gives you back that energy that you were looking for, that you needed, that healing love, like that healing energy, that spirit that you've been waiting for all your life, that is the moment where the dating's over. Because that's the light bulb that clicks on for the woman or the man. They're like, whoa, I've never felt this before. This is something that I like. I'm being 100% real with this person, and they're giving it back to me. They're giving back that same energy. They're not judging me. They're not, turned off, or because a person would tell you if you say something and it turns them off, they're going to tell you, either if they say it or not. It's going to be on their face, whatever. But that moment where you could be 100% honest with them, and they give you that energy, that's over. Now we're working on something.
So do you feel like a man can be so focused on working that maybe the one or someone could be right there, but he's so into his work that he doesn't notice her?
100%, because I've done it.
Really?
Yep. I've done it. So, because like I said, I stay busy. But sometimes you could put your love and passion for your entrepreneurship and for your labor over people. And I realized, like, dang, I just lost a good one. I just lost a good woman, because so the thing with men is that we want to prepare a table for that person, for that woman, for that family, that we work so hard labor wise that sometimes we miss out on spending energy on the ones who matters, even our families. It's not just about romantic relationships. I had to stop myself and be like, wow, I'm not calling my grandma enough. I'm not talking to my mom enough. Like, I'm working way too much. And the thing about work is going to be here when you're here or not. My grandma always say, when you die, your job is going to hire somebody the same day. You're always replaceable in something that is man-made. Mm-hmm. But so when it comes to romantic, relationships, a man can definitely let his work overshadow his love in his romantic life. Most definitely. I've done that.
How do you notice that person, or what happened for you to notice, go, hey, over there? Like,
afterwards, because there is a time where you settle down, you stop working. Either your body forces you to, or you're off or whatever, and you sit down, you think about life, and you think about your life. You're like, whoa, I've let a lot of things pass by. Like, I remember the feeling of having a good woman, and now that feeling is no longer here. Now I just have the feeling of working all day and every day, trying to get to the bread, trying to get this money. All right,
the bag, yeah.
Yeah, it's a different feeling. Like, they both great feelings, but it's a different feeling because, like, the love you have for a woman is everlasting. The love you have for money is idolatry. Like, that's worship, because money don't love you. There's nothing like loving something that loves you back. You know what I'm saying? So I always say money is a tool, but a lot of men treat it as a religion,
Yeah, that's major. It's just there's so much what I call chatter. There's so much chatter out here as far as you hear guys say, well, if she can't cook, if she can't do this, if she can't do that, I don't want her. But then when you're hearing what he's describing, what he wants, it sounds like you just want a maid and a concubine.
Right.
Or your mom. But it's like, do you really want a partner? Do you really want a relationship? Because you're basing her value based off acts of service, like servitude.
Right.
But it's like outside of that, because there are amazing women that can't cook, great relationships. And I get it, there are physical things or acts of love or whatever. But when you strip it down to what I call misogyny, a misogynistic definition on what you feel like a good woman is, just cooking and cleaning and whatever, meeting needs, and we'll say that. But beyond that, like how does a good man truly define or express his desires in a relationship without demeaning her to just cooking and cleaning?
See, that's a crazy mindset. I didn't know there was that many men out here that like really be out here saying that's crazy. I've never thought
talking crazy.
That's crazy.
To me, it's like a grown boy. Like it's crazy. It's out here. It's out here.
You was saying that, you was talking, and I was just like, hold on, there's dudes out here really doing.
Yes,
that's crazy.
Yes. When the next competition comes up, I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah,
like watch this.
That's crazy because those things. They
co-sign that.
Those things are replaceable though. Like those things are temporary. I always say the things you'll know if you love a person, if that person loses the ability to do those things and you're still loving them, you're still with them, right? I always say, so if you, I'll tell women, if you know you love this man, if he loses his ability to walk, and now you got to take care of him. And now that's when faces start changing. That's when you'll see a lot of faces start. Like
you don't think life happens.
Life happens.
Like what if he has a stroke and for 6 months he's lost a side of his body or an accident, he's in a wheelchair. What, like we just see the person like right now.
Yeah.
Man, we're still young, but what about when you're 50 or 60 or you have a heart attack or like life is going to happen.
Right. Well, you're not able to cook no more. Like those guys be saying. What are you going to do now? If you're not able to physically lift things, and what are you going to do now?
Or she gets sick and you have to give her a bath.
What are you going to do now? So it's like, do you really love that person? Mm-hmm. And then another thing that people attach love with, which gets my nerves, they attach love with everything. They attach love with infatuation. They attach love with toxicity. They attach love with flirting. Like they attach love with all these things that are so much cheaper than love. Love is expensive, yo. You can't just buy love. Like love can't be replaced. Love is like heavy. You can't play with love. You know what I'm saying? So when people attach love to all these other things, it dilutes love and it dilutes your thoughts on love with your partner. You know, so people they think they love their partner and they really don't.
But you have to not only love them, but you have to like them, because in a relationship, you're gonna have disagreements. And it's like, hey, you get on my nerves today. I still love you, but just, right. But where is that line? Because it seems like in this time, we see people the first time they have the first disagreement. Oh, I can't do this, or I'm done. Because now you have your first conflict. You want to just throw the whole thing away. And it's like a false mindset or narrative that it has to be this perfect cookie cutter #relationship goals.
Yep.
And that's not realistic. Like you're going to not agree all the time. You're not going to see eye to eye. You're going to have a difference of opinions. Today, it's like, dude, your feet sink, like whatever, But it's like you have to be able to go through that and rebound it. But when you have that disagreement, don't hold that grudge. And then 6 months later, see, that's why, It's like, that was 6 months ago. We're not on that. So
Right.
to me, if you're keeping score like that, you're looking for an out for another reason.
Right. And I always say, if you look for an out, you just giving space and opportunity for failure. Once you start thinking of an out, you're already planting a seed of failure.
And why are you thinking like that in the beginning?
Yeah. Why? There's a reason why you are, right? And that's why the beginning stages are so important. Because if the doubts outweigh the positive things, and it's like, all right, something ain't right here, or the person just ain't for me, you know. And there's no point in trying to make it work if the negatives outweigh the positives. It's okay. Yeah. Move on.
So in those conversations, Sealz, in the beginning, when the guy is vetting the woman, what is that conversation looking like? At least from what women should be looking for, if he's for real, if he's intentional, as we're talking about.
Right.
What are some of those things, Sealz, that women should look out for when they're having these conversations?
A genuine spirit. Like we was talking about earlier, having a mask on, right? And acting all proper, or acting too polished, right? I feel like no woman wants to keep enduring that. Like, eventually she's going to want to see who you are, right? I understand it like on why you should act, upstandish and have your chest out and, just stature good in the beginning, because you're trying to impress in the beginning. After a while, you need to start shedding that and showing who you truly are. If you want this person to invest in you, they're not investing in the fake you. They're investing in the real you. So that's one thing, being genuine. Two, seeing if the person actually engages in conversation with you. Like they're initiating communication with you. It's not always like a tag thing, right? Seeing the want in that man will tell you a lot about how much he really likes you. And
what do you mean by the want?
So that's why I was going to go a little deeper in the want, right? To show like his passion to get to know you. Not to get to know your body, but to get to know who you are, right? Asking little cute questions, asking questions, period, right? Just talking to you, trying to find a way to talk to you, inquiring. Those are types of communication that are open-ended. It's not just yes and no questions, right? Do you like this? Do you like that? No. I want you to give me an answer that's open-ended, because I want to see how you talk. I want to hear your voice. I want to see how you elaborate. I want to see how you express yourself in your mind. I want to see what you're about. I can't feel that if you're giving me yes and no answers. I can't feel that if we're not talking, right? So a man who is digging you, but also digging in you, he's trying to figure you out.
Questions, inquisitive.
Yeah, like passion. Yeah. Like, tell me, when you started this podcast, right? Podcasting, right? You were like, yo, I feel like I can do this. And now I want to do this. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to learn every in and out, every 1 and 2 about this podcasting game, because I want to do this. It wasn't just like, yo, oh, I like that dress. I might get it. I might not.
That's outside that joint.
Maybe if it goes on sale, I'll get it. A lot of men treat women like that in the beginning stages because they kind of like you. They kind of feeling you, it might work. It might possible. Maybe we might work. But the man who actually is trying to figure you out, he's doing the 1s and 2s. He's watching videos and courses and on this subject. That's equivalent to him asking you questions and trying to figure out, initiating communication.
Research.
Yeah, it's a different vibe. It's a different feel. It's a different energy. You feel that.
Yeah. And I think being like analytical, just because I'm naturally analytical. And when I was in the Navy, working with JAG as a paralegal and looking at criminal cases, one of the things that always got me, Sealz, was why do they do it?
All right.
and doing that criminal psychology and looking up traits on personalities for a particular crime, like people that do a certain crime usually have this type of psychological profile.
Right.
That intrigued the mess out of me.
Yes.
So I don't care if it's someone in my office or whomever. I want to know what makes you tick. Not in a bad way, but I'm just like,
no, there is no bad way.
Yeah, it's just like, what are they about? Why do they love what they do? Or I will find myself like on the elevator. Oh, do you work for such such? Oh, what do you do? Just naturally inquisitive. But take that into a relationship, that same initiative. Hey, Sealz, so why did you get into day trading and and just having those conversations.
Right. And look at the difference between why and what. Why is a sign that the person is interested in you. What is a sign that they're just trying to continue the conversation? Because look at what you just said. What do you do for a living? Oh, I day trade. Oh, okay. Why do you day trade? Now the person has to think. They're like, oh, she wants to know why I have a passion for this certain thing. She's trying to get to know me, right? That first question, the what, is a dead end question. It's like you ask it, the person gives you the answer, that's it. But now, open-ended question, the person is asking you, now you have to sit there and think like, oh, sometimes people don't even know why they do certain things. You know, you notice that? Like even you, right? Personally, you don't know why you do certain things until someone asks you. You're like, whoa, dang, why do
that?
Yeah.
Like,
dang.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta get back on you on that. But now it's making you think, you know?
And you find yourself like, why do I do that?
Yeah, it's like, dang.
Yeah.
You realize you don't know certain things about yourself. Now this person is pulling that out of you. It's all about this shit.
Why do you part your hair on the left and not the right? I'm like, because I'm left-handed.
Right. Or you be like, dang, it's because my mom used to part my hair when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And sit down, it's be mother-daughter time, and I still do it to this day. You know, it's like it gets deep. It can get deep, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Never know, man. Never know, man. It's just...
Oh my God. So I gotta ask, this is kind of a sidebar question. Where is the Afro wig at? Where is it?
Oh, my twin brother. He's he had a club right now. He just he wilding out right now.
I was like, where's the hair?
Yeah. That's my alter ego right there.
I'm like, I didn't get the neon lights. I didn't get the,
He be wilding. Yeah.
Oh my God.
For those who don't know, just go to my YouTube channel. You'll see.
Yeah. See, they already know what I was talking about.
See.
We still plugging. I know we're about to start to wrap up here, and we're gonna do like some takeaways and also like contact information where they can get those things. So definitely want to, first of all, thank you just for coming on. You always drop gems, like every time, it never fails. But I do want to kind of do like a little takeaway and where people can find you on social media. So before we do that, Sealz, just maybe 3 things, because I do want to continue this conversation. It's like we keep going deeper and deeper into the matters of the heart between men and women, particularly Black men and women. Right. So 3 gems or takeaways that someone can get from this conversation.
So my first takeaway is to love yourself, be comfortable with self, be confident in self, make your own laws to yourself, make your own boundaries to self. When you do all these things for self, no one can cross that because you're confident, you follow yourself. And so when people try to change you or they try to make you do things you don't want to do, you won't do it because you know self. There's certain places I won't go now because I know I'm not part of that crowd no more. It's not part of my spirit no more. There's certain things I won't eat.
That's good.
Certain people I won't hang out with because they're like, I know self now.
Or it will awaken something that you killed.
Yeah.
I know for me, I'm constantly reevaluating people around me, mindsets, and like you said, there's certain people, not that they're shade, but just for me, I cannot be attached to that anymore.
Right. And you can call us bougie. You can call us call me what you want. I don't care.
High maintenance. Somebody's like, you high maintenance. I was like,
oh, that's cool.
Over here, you got to come up. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's only people with self issues say other people are high maintenance. We're all supposed to be high maintenance on ourselves. We're all supposed to take care of ourselves.
You should have a bar,
right?
You know, a standard. And when you really start to realize who you are and your purpose and the things God has for you, like, it's gonna shift your perception on how you walk every day, how you get up, how you show up. Do you think that every day? No, but at some point, it's like it's not necessarily bad or expedient, as Paul said, but it's not for me.
Yeah. And if you call me high maintenance, that means you're low maintenance. That ain't cool. You need to check yourself out for that. Anyway, so yeah, it's like, come on. So the second thing I want to say, takeaway, is that to be yourself always. Unapologetically yourself. Don't apologize for being yourself. Don't be scared to be yourself. Don't shy away from being yourself. Because when you are yourself, you filter everything and everyone who isn't for you. And that's why we had so many friends in high school and in college, because we accepted everything that came our way. And we know it. I know. Because, you know, that was just the way of life when you're immature or less mature. You just let anything come in your circle. And it you know, factors and pressures and all that. But I'm at a point in my life where now it's like, I'm going to be myself no matter what. And those who don't like it, I'm not trying to impress no one. Your best supporters are the ones who actually like you, who actually support you. What's the power in having 100,000 followers if 90,000 of them don't even know who you are? So when you do pivot to who you are, eventually in that time of your life, you're going to lose all those people. 10,000 real followers are way stronger. 1,000 real followers is way stronger than 100,000 people who don't know who you truly are. Because you can always, you can always be yourself no matter what. Whatever you do, whatever, like you're doing fragrances now, you're doing merch now. Those are all branches of who you truly are. So when you do those things, it doesn't push those people away. They're not going to be like, oh, what is she doing? Good black men still exist. What is she talking about? You know, they know those are all extensions of who you are.
That's good. I always say, do you have a lot of friends or do you just know a lot of people?
Nope. And there's a difference between that, right? You said it. You said the answer right there. There's a difference between friends and associates. I have a few friends. Some of my friends are closer to me than my own relatives, blood related.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
You feel me? You feel me? But I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people know you, and a lot of people know me. You know, but I can't call them my friends.
Right.
I can't depend on them. I can't trust them. If I was in an emergency, would they be there for me?
Right.
You know? And I'm not talking about like, you know, one of your fans or something, and you call them and they're like, oh, I'm on the way, because they want something in return.
Scary. That's actually kind of scary.
You know what I'm saying? Because I bet you could call any of those men who like you, any of your fans who like you, and they would do exactly what you asked them. You know why? Because they want something out of it. They want something in return. But to have someone who don't want nothing in return, that's a friend.
Why you got to put on the brothers?
You know how to put you on. You know how to put you on, see?
Yeah, we already talked about that. Let's talk about one more, because I just be in the house, child. Talking to God.
Yeah, you know, it's a difference, yo.
Yeah, that's funny. But yes, focus. We are losing our way. Focus. Yes. I gotta bring you back. Point number three. Point number three
is to I would say point number 3 is to stay strong in your faith. Whatever you believe in, stay strong in that. for me, my faith has saved my life multiple times.
How?
I tell you, I can't say here, but I would just tell you that I shouldn't be here. And if it wasn't for my faith, if it wasn't for my God, if it wasn't for what I believe in, I wouldn't be here for multiple reasons.
Same.
Right? So remain in the thing that saves your life every time. Don't lose that thing. And a lot of us, we mess up because we discard the things that saves our lives.
Mm.
We discard the things that pray for us every day. We discard the things that are essential to us, that are necessary for our well-beings. We discard them because it's boring. You know, we discard them because it's not flashy or it's not fun. You know what I'm saying?
Simp. I hate that word. Oh, he's a simp.
Yeah.
He's a lame or she's a lame. Like when that's actually the healthy thing.
Yeah. Be yourself.
Gosh.
And that's why I stopped talking about people too. I used to crack on people all the time because I was immature, but I stopped talking about people because when people be themselves, when they're being lame or they're being whack, and if they're being themselves and you're talking about them, now they're not going to be themselves. Now you're pushing them away from their authenticity. Now you're scaring them from wanting them to be them. You know, that's messed up. You can ruin people's lives like that.
That could become something that they can't recover from.
Exactly. That's trauma that can never be healed sometimes. There's people that committed suicide because of those things. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Like, I don't judge people. I don't talk about people no more because I've realized like people are hurting out here, yo. They're hurting, especially going back to what my point is, especially if they don't have their faith, especially if they're not strong in their faith, they're not grounded in their beliefs, you know? So I always say, man, stay with your faith, believe in your beliefs, stay grounded in your ground. And don't get away from those things. Once you do, you become lost. And once you do, the demons and the craziness and the toxicity out there, they're going to grab you once they see. It's kind of like when dudes be waiting for women to break up with their boyfriends. And
the Bryson Tillers.
And then when they finally break up, they be like, "Oh, yo, my bad. I heard you
put me in, coach.
Yo, I heard you broke up."
I did a TikTok about that. It was like I did a duet with a guy. He was in his car talking about, "Oh man, you broke up with your boyfriend." So I was the girl that was crying, and then he was like,
"For real?"
He was like, "Oh yeah, that is so bad. You know, it's really."
Yo, if you ever want a shoulder to cry on, I'm right
here.
But
you know what? I did that with, Prescott. And he said, Cam, you might not know it, but every woman has at least one or two dudes since the Bryson Tiller. He's waiting.
Yep. He's waiting.
And I was like, you're right. He was like, I promise.
Yep.
You don't know it, but there's always that one guy that is hoping the other dude messes up and he will be like, put me in, coach. Yep. And I was like, I don't have anybody. He was like,
you don't know. You don't know.
You'll never know.
Nope. You'll never know. You can go all throughout this whole life and not know, but there's always someone. Even for men.
Everyone has a Bryson Tiller.
Everyone. And sometimes they be closer to you than you think.
What? So, okay. This is my podcast brain. I need to get you and Prescott on the same conversation.
Okay.
We need to do that. I'm going to talk to Prez. It's like, I had this wild conversation with Sealz last week, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to tell him.
Yep.
Like, we got to schedule it. My last show for the year is scheduled for December the 5th.
Okay.
But when we kick off 23,
that's
got to happen.
Okay. Yeah, man. It's a lot of things y'all don't know, man.
I don't believe it because my phone is dry.
It's going to be. They're not going to hit you up. They ain't going to hit you up.
I just being here. I don't go out. Like, I go to work. I might go see a couple of friends in Atlanta, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. We got to talk. That's another sidebar. Like, I want to know more about that.
Yep.
That's crazy. The mind of a man. Wow.
The mind of a man. It's a lot of things y'all know.
Say what now?
It's a lot of things y'all don't know.
I heard you, but I'm just like,
Just say it. Just say it.
Oh, ladies, I'm trying to crack the code here, okay? I'm slow walking him. Bear with me. We're gonna get it. Okay. What was that laugh?
That was a thinker laugh. Like,
yeah, I know. Bro, this is my bro, man. Sealz is so dope, man. I love having you on here. The conversations are always so good. When is merch coming? Beanies, what's up?
We're working on it as we speak. Actually, it's here. I actually got some drafts mocked up. It is here. It's coming. I'll say that.
Because we can do some co-collab.
Definitely.
And I want to support because you supporting the Good Black Men merch. Yeah. So thank you. So we got to do some co-collab. And I like doing photo shoots and do a cross collab shoot or something and send pictures. So that's a must. I can't wait to see. We'll talk about that later. But where can people find you on social media?
You can find me at YouTube or Sealz The Man. I took a break from Instagram for a while. I needed a social media purge. I'm an ambivert too. So I'm an extrovert, introvert.
It's draining. It's draining.
Yeah, it's draining. All these people dying, and you see people, the racist and stuff, and it's just
take off dying. It's just a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I'm taking a break, and I know myself. So I'm still on Instagram at Sealz The Man as well. Okay. And I'll be having my website coming out soon.
Cool. Yeah, I love it. I'm naturally an introvert, and so I started last year. So every December, I put myself on sabbatical.
Yeah.
Just to give myself that break, because to me, social media is draining, and that's one of the reasons why I don't do that many lives as far as like one-on-ones on Instagram, because it's so much for me to have to open up and talk. Yeah. And that's just, as you know, as an introvert, it's just like, I don't want to do it. I'll do a picture, I'll do a photo shoot. That's easy. But to get in front of the camera and talk to people, it makes me cringe. And I'm doing this because it's easier for me to have this conversation, because I feel like it's just you and I FaceTiming or something.
Yeah. Right.
Just to do that alone, like as you do on your show on YouTube, the monologues, I'm still trying to work through that. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. But once again, be yourself, know yourself, and stay in that. Once it starts to feel like a job, I was like, no, I need to get off of this.
Yeah.
Once by me posting reels and all that, it starts to make me feel like I was working.
Yeah.
And this ain't the spirit that I'm trying to lead with my creations.
That's good.
Once I get that love back to get back on Instagram, I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to have you back on the show too, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, and more often, like it's like you'll be on as a gap. I don't know if we got schedules, but it's like you always bring so much value to the conversation, and I want to start opening that lane up even more for men to have these conversations. So I'll definitely be reaching out to you to get some things in the books in the coming year.
Appreciate it. I'll be here.
Appreciate it. So everybody, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Camille.Essick. And I do have digital, my Black men and Black women Christmas cards. Digital cards are now available on my Etsy shop, so you can download them. I do have bundles available and single purchases available, and new designs are coming later on in the next week or two. So if you go to my Etsy store, we're getting into the holiday season. We need more representation in the world of card giving, and so I'm putting designs together. And I've released my first phase 1 of the collection is out right now at Etsy. So you can hit that link. It's right there in Etsy. Also catch the Good Black Men merch and Chemistry Room fragrances. Be sure to use a coupon code GBM15. And then be sure to follow us on Instagram at Good Black Men Official and online at gbmofficial.com. And for all my bougie girls, if you follow me on TikTok, all the things that I purchased, you can get them too on my Amazon store. So yeah, I got a lot going on. We're trying to put everything out there to let you know. Camille's, I have layers, I have dimensions to myself. And as Sealz said, everything is a representation of me and different things, just in different formats. So I hope you all got something from this conversation. I definitely did. Y'all, I'm still trying to pick this man's brain. Just bear with me, Saints. I'm working on it, okay? I'm slow walking, believe me. I'm slow walking this man. So thank you, Sealz, and everybody. Have a good night. Be blessed. Tune in next week. Prescott Mack is coming in. We're going to talk about, from his perspective, men need things too. So we're going to find out and see what he has to say about that. And then Whitney Victoria will be here on the 15th, and then we'll be off the following week for Thanksgiving, and then we'll come back to close out the month of November with a very special guest, which I will announce later on. But if you go to my website and subscribe, you'll already get that information. So with that being said, thank you for watching the Speaker Podcast or listening to the Speaker Podcast. This is the podcast when innovators and creators connect. Good night. Be blessed.